first day I saw him, there was just something about him, I knew he was a keeper. And this month we will be married 42 years. 42 years later with 3 children and 4 grandchildren. It hasn't been just a story, once upon a time and they lived happily ever after. Yes, we are living happily, but we've really had to work at it. We haven't just, it wasn't just handed to us and there was no work to it. Richard?
Well, that's true. You got to work at it every day. And you got to do a lot of small things really to make it happen. But before you really get married, there's some things that you really have to kind of fundamentally agree with each other. And one is who's going to be the breadwinner. That means we're a firm believer that all the children need guidance and supervision by our parent. And that means that one of us has to be at home. So at the very beginning, we were both working, and we both decided what roles we're going to take as far as the breadwinner. Phyllis was making twice as much money as I was at the time, but we decided that she wanted to be the homemaker and I would be the breadwinner. So we embarked upon a program to take all of her money and put it into the bank so that we can afford to buy a home and furniture and things of that nature. And I would pursue a career of trying to be the breadwinner. So that was one major decision that we had to agree to. Another major decision is whether you're going to have a family or not. Because having a family is not easy. I mean, it's a lot of fun at the very beginning, but as the children age and they become mature, at times it becomes a little bit more difficult than when they are 10 days old. And so, but the fact is that you need to decide whether you're going to have a family or not, and therefore what's going to happen. It's hard to predict whether you have 1, 2, or 3, or 4, or 5, or however many versus 0. But we decided we was going to have a family, and as a result of that, we ended up with 2 girls and a boy. We didn't decide upon 3; it just kind of happened that way. But it's a decision that you have to kind of make, and so realizing what roles you're going to play is critically important, and 2, whether you're going to have a family or not is critically important. And then the other thing is that you have to kind of look at it as a we concept versus you or I. Even though that Phyllis was making twice as much money as I was, we pooled our money together and all of our finances together and all of our decision processes together. We didn't say this was her money or this was my money or this was your decision or this was my decision. When you embark upon a marriage, you got to decide we, and that's got to last for the duration. Because if you ever vary from the word we, then you're by and large going on different roads that leads to not a pleasant ending. But you got to make sure that you maintain the we concept. And that itself is very difficult to do over time.